This is my interview with Ms. Sarah Baker, the Technology Administrator for the Granville Public Library. The mission of the Granville Public Library is to serve their community by providing the following: print and non-print materials and appropriate equipment to meet the informational and recreational needs of patrons of all ages, recreational and informational programming for patrons of all ages, and reference and referral services in person, by phone, and to patrons of all ages. Their annual operating budget is $710,000, which includes gifts and donations. The State Ohio Public Library Fund provides 90% of their funding, with the remaining 10% coming from gifts. Their collection includes 67,000 books and periodicals, 9,200 CDs, cassette tapes, and vinyl records, 4,000 video items including VHS tapes, DVDs, and Blu-ray discs, and subscriptions to Value Line and Morningstar provided through donations. They are also part of OPLIN, the Ohio Public Library Information Network, with access to all of OPLIN's databases, including ERIC and Medicare. Ms. Sarah Baker was originally hired to serve as the library's technical services librarian. Following the renovation in 2007, which included many technology upgrades and new computers, she assumed the duties of technology administrator on a temporary basis. Now, however, with the library facing drastic budget cuts, she expects to continue serving in this role for the foreseeable future. Currently, the library is in an awkward spot with regards to its technology budget. During the renovations, computers and printers were purchased through the library through various fundraising campaigns conducted throughout the village. Currently, the library owns 18 computers, 2 printers, 1 copier, and 1 fax machine, all of which were paid for through donations during the 2007 renovation. At the time, there was no established budget for repairs or replacements, and now, operating on a 20% budget cut and facing an additional 11.5% cut for 2010, there is no way to develop a budget for these future expenses. The library is currently seeking a 5-year, $1 million levy on May 4th of 2010. If it passes, a new technology budget will be a priority for the library, but if it fails, the library will have to continue to rely on donated items and letters. The library's internet connection is currently provided through OPLIN. They use Roadrunner through Time Warner Cable at 1 GB bandwidth. Security is not much of an issue for the library, even though they have no security gates or cameras. Because they rely on donations and are heavily involved in the village community, library users tend to feel a sense of ownership towards library materials and police one another fairly effectively. Damage and vandalism are also almost unheard. All library staff are currently happy with the existing hardware and software. Library user satisfaction tends to vary from user to user. Granville is a small village, but it has a very eclectic mix of residents, from retirees who have never used a computer before in their lives and miss the physical card catalog, to university students who find the 3-year-old library computers already hopelessly outdated. The library has 7 public computers and 8 staff computers. All computers are connected to the internet through standard Linksys 8-port switch routers. The library currently has no redundant power system and still backs up their servers manually. They currently use Cat5 unshielded twisted pair cable with 100 megabytes per second connection. The library currently has no dummy terminals. After the 2000 renovation system, all computers in the library are standard desktops. They also currently have no access to wireless. As mentioned before, all computers in the library are standard desktops. Main uses for the library include homework, job searches, social networking, research, games, and computer classes. Computer usage is monitored by staff. Public computers are password protected, and staff have to log into a session by coming up to the desk and asking for a password. Public computers are not networked, which means that when a patron needs to print, they have to save their file to either a disk or a flash drive and take it over to the public printer computer and load it onto there in order to print their document. The library has a small collection of digitized documents available for public use. These are documents that have been donated to the library that have been deemed too fragile or unsafe to put out for public handling. Ms. Baker handles all computer repairs herself. If there's a problem that she cannot handle, she either takes the computer to an outside repair service, if there are funds available, or removes it from the public area until it can be replaced or fixed. All of the computers operate on Microsoft NT, Windows 7 Professional, and use Microsoft Office 2007. There is currently no Internet or print management software. Internet usage and printing are both monitored by staff. The library ILS is Horizon. Databases are available to library users through OPLIN. Currently, the library does not subscribe to any databases outside of this network. Staff currently use the old Newark Public Library system for their email address at mpls.org. Newark itself, though, has already switched over to their new Licking County email system, and the mpls.org address will be out of service by mid-2010. The library is currently looking at getting its own email service, but again, this will depend largely on the budget and the levy. The library's website is designed and maintained by Maher Consulting and Design. Maher Consulting also hosts the website. Library staff are only responsible for providing them with updated information. The library uses McAfee Antivirus as its primary antivirus software. Ms. Baker also uses Malwarebytes Anti-Malware and Hitman Pro, which she pays for herself, to remove viruses and adware which McAfee does. The library's greatest IT weakness are that it has no real IT department or staff, and no hardware and maintenance contracts. Ms. Baker has a good working knowledge of computers, printers, and library software, but she acknowledges that she is not a professional and that there are inevitably going to be issues that she will be unable to handle. She also notes, though, that the library's greatest strength is its incredibly supportive user base, and as technology demands continue to grow, there will likely be more support from the community for professional IT services in the library. Computer technology has changed dramatically since Ms. Baker started working for the library. When she was first hired, the library was still using a card catalog, had no public computers, and no internet access for staff. Now it seems as almost everything is available online. Resources like OPLIN make it possible for even small libraries to provide internet access to their users, and the tools larger library systems use, such as self-checkout, check-in stations, print management software, internet use management software, RFID, e-book collections, and e-book readers available for checkout all make it seem like the library is being increasingly automated. Baker believes that these trends towards automation and patron self-service will likely continue, and that most traditional library tasks will have been taken over by computers. She doesn't see this as a negative thing, however, and looks forward to a future where librarians will spend more time actively working with their users and less time trapped behind the desk or in the workroom. This concludes my presentation. For more information on the Granville Public Library, please visit their website at granvillelibrary.org. For more information on the Granville Public Library levy, please head over to their campaign site at granvillelevy.com.